I wake up and count my blessings. No more worries, no more stressing. With every loss there comes a lesson. Lord, all I'm asking is protection. I wake up and count my blessings.
Greetings, my Civ. Translation: hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations with me, a random nobody. Well, guys, we made it. Today is my season finale, and I am so not excited. It's kind of like a bittersweet moment right now, but it's all good. I've been podcasting now for exactly 6 months. I actually checked the date today, and it's 6 months to the day. So that right there kind of encouraged me and let me know that right now is the time to take a break. I'm going to take a couple weeks to revamp and relaunch and redo and all of that good stuff to the podcast and come back even better than ever. In the meantime, while I'm gone, quote unquote gone, if you're new to the podcast, you can catch up on older episodes. And if you're not new to the podcast, you can just listen to them again. I mean, they were that good, weren't they? All right. I know I'm being a little vain right now, right? I'm being a little vain, but it's all good. Anyway, speaking of prior episodes, I actually received an email in regards to last week's episode, and I wanted to address that today. Now, if you ever have a question, please feel free to drop me a line in my inbox on Instagram, or you can email me. All of my contact information is always in the show notes, so check them out. All right. Okay. So this question was in regard to my reaction to Megan during her interview with Oprah. She said that the royal family was concerned about Archie's skin color, right? And in turn, while I did not condone that, I said that as a people, Black folks, we were all up in arms about that, but we too have a history of checking in our own way to verify skin color of our own children and children in our family, right? And I said that instead of being all up in arms about that we should deal with that first within our community. So the listener's question was, do you hold your opinion and advice on this topic to the same standard when the topic is about white cops killing Black people when someone compares the rate at which Black people kill other Black people? Just curious. And to that, I would say no. I, for one, hate when people bring up the myth of Black on Black crime when talking about the unjustified killing of people of color when it comes to law enforcement. I tell them you can't compare apples to oranges. So, these are two topics that need to be discussed separately and addressed and resolved separately. And after listening to the episode and hearing what I did, I was like, oh, wait, am I comparing these things? And when I got this email, it's like, yeah, you're definitely doing what you literally hate, right? So to answer your question, absolutely not. But no, both issues needs to be confronted, addressed, and diminished, actually. Racism and colorism both need to be addressed in their own specific way. And comparing them, is not going to do anything for it. So I hope that answers your question. If it doesn't, please let me know. And I know that you will. Okay, so now that I got all that good stuff out of the way, let me tell you guys about my episode today. I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Martin Smith. I know you're like, who is Martin Smith? Well, actually, by now you should know who he is if you follow me on Instagram, because I've already posted a little snippet of the video. But Martin Smith and his brother Aaron were contestants on Beat Shazam, and that game show is hosted by Jamie Foxx. If you're not familiar with the show, it's a pretty cool show. But if you're not familiar with this episode, guys, you need to check it out. Martin and his brother killed this show. Okay, from start to finish. All right, maybe not from start to finish, right? But because they had me a lot worried. But these two guys went on that show, represented, and did their thing. And I had to had to talk to Martin because he played a very pivotal role in this game. Not saying that Aaron didn't do his part, but Martin showed up and showed out. So I had to get in touch with him, and I did what I do best. I got on Google and I started searching, brothers on Shazam. Okay, found their name. And I reached out to Martin and he was like, sure, absolutely. So I was so excited. I felt kind of like I did with Claudia Perry, like a little teenage girl, because I was just so pumped up to meet Martin. I didn't meet him, but, Zoom. Watching him and seeing his brother on TV, they just had, the best energy. So I was super excited to get this conversation started. And like I said, Martin was so cool. And I had the opportunity to meet his beautiful wife as well. And her and I did have our own conversation towards the end of Martin and I's conversation. And I'm actually going to include that in a bonus episode during my little hiatus. So make sure you keep an eye out for that. Now, when Martin was headed to the show, he told me that his wife said to him that he should visualize himself already winning. And when he did that, he held on to that visualization, and he believes that that's what helped him to win the $1 million prize. Because when it came down to that final question, Martin did not choke. He spat that answer out with the quickness and won $1 million. All right, so I feel like I can just keep on going and going. So I'm just going to start this conversation right now. Guys, I hope you enjoy it. All right, well, thank you so much for responding to my Facebook message and agreeing to come and to have this conversation with me, a random nobody.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Now, how long has it been since the show actually aired?
The show aired May 2019, so it's been a year and a few months.
Okay, because I don't watch a lot of TV, and I actually saw the episode. I was at my cousin's house. It was my cousin, my daughter, my sister, and my cousin's boyfriend, and we were in the living room watching the episode, and we were like we were family, you know what I mean? So I'm still pumped from it because I just saw it like maybe a month, not even 2 months ago. So I'm still like, oh my God, they won, so you might be all chilling like, oh yeah, let's talk about this again. But I'm still up here, right? Because I called my cousin after you responded to me, and I was screaming in this house. My sons, they weren't there. So they had no idea. It was like, what's wrong with her? And I called my cousin. She was like, no, you didn't. And I told my sister and my daughter. So we're just so excited about this.
Thank you.
So we're just going to get right into it. That entrance. Whoa, like, did they tell y'all to act a fool, or is that just who you guys are?
Listen, we are the fools, so it came easy. And I was actually practicing, like, I'm a school teacher, and I was telling the kids, like, I had to fabricate. I told them I was going to a family event, and I had to make a big entrance. And they said, please don't dance, Mr. Smith. So I was showing out different kind of moves I can come in with. I would come in like with the steady ready, and I was coming in with the silly cycle.
Oh my God.
And they couldn't stand the silly cycle. And I said, you will be seeing that. And I just revved it up, had to get it going.
Oh my goodness. I was just like, wow. Like everyone else came out dancing, but you guys were not playing, So now the first half of the show.
Yeah.
We were sitting in there worried, okay? And I was like, man, I'm not watching this. They still at 0, like,
We were the worst. The worst ever.
Right. No, I didn't say all that. I was thinking it. I was thinking it.
You had as many points at home, though.
Right, exactly. So what was going through your mind?
For me, it was a mixture of panic and embarrassment. Because, like, I'm looking at my brother like, we're worse than what we practice at home. I'm like, we missed diamonds from Rihanna. I mean, we should have been sent home at that very moment.
Oh, my God.
I was so nervous. The crowd was bigger than I thought. Jamie Foxx is a bigger star than I thought.
Wow.
When he came in, the whole room changed up. like seriously. And he came in minutes before the show started. So
Uh-huh.
like, I was starstruck. The lights were bright. I mean, you could feel everybody just looking at you, looking like, what y'all gonna do next? Like my brother was cool, but I was going through all the stages.
Oh my goodness. So how fun is Jamie Foxx in real, like in person?
Jamie Foxx is that guy that once he leaves the party, you might as well turn the lights out and end the party. Like he's really that level. He's chill, he's funny, he lets you be yourself, and he's having a good time when you're having a good time.
Wow, that's awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. So you said like the room changed when he came out.
Yes.
That was just for you guys as participants or audience members?
Everybody, because like
Wow.
it's in the round. So like like they're doing the warm ups and the crowd's getting hyped, and it happened to be a very cold day out there. Like it had been raining all week in California, so people like they were California cold. It was like 50 degrees, but they were all like. Once Jamie came storming down those steps, everything got just elevated. People screaming and jump like they didn't even have to tell people to jump up. The contestants and I were jumping up, clapping as if we weren't going to be on the show. We had lost ourselves.
And he was nice and everything.
He was extremely nice. His daughter was incredibly nice.
That's
Even
awesome.
during the breaks, she's making sure everybody's getting water. Everybody has what they need. Like just really, really like even with $0, I was like, this is a good experience.
Wow, that's awesome. It just sounds so fun.
Yeah.
Motown, Martin.
Yes.
How much pressure? Like you were getting pressure from Jamie,
Yes.
the audience,
Mhm.
me at home, my cousin, my sister. We were all like, yo, if they don't get this.
Yes. Right. I'm guilty of that too, because I'm there at home screaming at the TV. So I'm like, man, what would I be saying to myself? And
Wow.
Jamie laid it on. We had no points.
Mm-mm.
Here comes Motown.
Mm-hmm.
And but we were upset because we were like, watch them play something everybody knows. If they had gone like deep in the cuts, then like we would have been home free.
Oh my gosh.
But it's like Ain't Too Proud to Beg. It's like, And you know where I messed up? I was under the belief that they didn't play the same songs twice.
So they did?
I had heard that song on another show. I'd seen every episode like 3 times. It's my favorite show.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So when like if you watch it in slow motion, I was confused because I heard it and I'm like, why is this playing? It's already been played.
So it threw you off.
It threw me off, but like,
wow.
But we did get it. See, like everybody was clowning us. We got that one. I mean, we missed a bunch of other things, but we did get that one. We just happened to get it like last.
We missed a bunch of other things, but we did get this one.
I did think Diamonds would shine bright. And I can thank my brother for not killing me because he was trying to hit the right answer.
Oh, okay. So he was trying.
Yeah, he knew it. But I treated the whole thing like a hearing test. I heard Shine Bright, and that's what I hit.
Oh my goodness. So you said that's your favorite show. Does your brother all watch it as well, or?
He's watched it. He's aware of it. But basically, I let him know that we're going to see Jamie Foxx. So start watching that show.
You just signed him up.
Listen, I know with him, he's afraid of nothing. Like
okay,
one of his rap names is Fearless.
Wow.
So basically, he's afraid of absolutely nothing. So when I put that challenge out for him, he goes, yeah, no doubt. And he's like, okay, is that the show about this? Yeah, I'll do that.
Wow. When did they even start making this show? Because I've never heard of it. My cousin has, because she watches more TV than me, but.
We were on the 3rd season, so I guess they started 2017.
Oh, so fairly new.
But I really hadn't heard of it till 2018. We were watching on Hulu, and we were doing the marathon because it was like, you know how that show goes. It snowballs. So I was talking all the trash. Like first, like I'm up, I'm dancing. I'm like, I told my family, I said, a guy my age has an advantage in this show because I've lived through almost all of it. Wow. But I'm young enough that I could be almost as fast as the kids. And I was watching, and the people that won the million, they were like late 30s, early 40s. I'm like, I'm on to something, It's like, and then my daughter goes, well, what about the music? Do you know that? I'm like, I said, that could be an issue. Because since my second daughter was born, I haven't been really up on everything,
Okay.
Some drips and drabs. So I had to really go into the lab and just do 6 months, like really 6 months, 6 hours a day.
Wow.
of music.
Wow.
I was an honorary teenager.
Now to prepare for the show.
Yeah.
Wow. I had Claudia Perry on a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure if you know who she is, but she won Jeopardy. She was a Jeopardy champion 5 times, I think. And I wanted to know, how do you prepare for Jeopardy? Like, do they give you the questions or you study? And she was just like, I just read a lot, and it was like natural. So I was, of course,
really smart.
Right. I was, of course, gonna ask you, like, did you study? Do they give you a list? How do they help?
They give you nothing, but they do give you the episodes. They're on the air. So basically, you watch the show, you get acclimated with the format, and you get to see, like, it's the biggest hits. Jamie says it on the show, the biggest hits. 60s to today.
So your 6 hours of listening to music, researching, like what is involved in all of that?
For me, it was just basically, I just went and just listened to 60s, then I'd have a day listening to 70s. Like, I try to be thematic about it so I wouldn't lose my mind.
So how do you remember them?
Oh, here we go. I used to be a competitive Scrabble player.
Oh, okay.
And I used to go to the national championships, and I never came that close. I came in 34th one year, so that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But the nature of Scrabble is there's a lot of words that have very similar spellings, and you have to be very exact about the spelling.
Okay.
So it was a very similar dynamic here because you had to have the exact song title in the Beat Shazam round.
Right.
Days when I couldn't get to my music, I would just study song titles.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Just to know, yeah. Because most of my studying was for the bonus round, as you could see on the show.
Right. It came through.
Yeah, it almost didn't, though. Because look at my brother, like, it only helps to study the bonus round if we get there. And we're going to be asked to leave shortly.
Exactly. That is so true. So once you got on the board again.
Yes.
You flew from one side of the stage to all the way in the audience. Like, where do you get this energy?
You know why? It's like, once we broke through, no one could ever say that we didn't do anything right. It was just like, all the weight was lifted off the shoulders. You knew you were capable of doing it. And yeah, I was just berserk. It's like we won the champ. I was more animated then than after we won.
Right. Cause I'm looking like, yo, can he do that? Like, can he be all the way out on the stage? But you were like, look, we on the board.
Yes.
And then Jamie Foxx was like, are you okay? And you said something to the effect, I celebrate everything.
I celebrate, yes. A lot of times in the class, it's about taking major losses. There's some tough days in school where the kids aren't trying to have it, or the school is just not things aren't flowing a certain way. So when you have a good class or a kid has a good makeup test, yeah, you got to get in and you got to celebrate that.
Wow.
And also, there was a good chance we were still going home, so get that party going.
That's awesome because, like you said, the way you responded is like you won, everything. So that's something that you teach your kids at school, is like that's something that you're big on.
Focus on the things that you do right and the things you do well, and that'll lead you into the future that you want.
Wow, that's awesome. So you said earlier that Beat Shazam is your most favorite show. So are you big into game show watching?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
What's your other favorite?
Jeopardy, of course.
Really?
Oh, yes. But like you said, though, to win on Jeopardy, you really have to know a lot of things.
Have you ever tried out? Like, have you ever considered going on?
Well, I'd have a better chance because they have a special tournament just for teachers.
Wow.
So I'm not saying teachers aren't very intelligent, but it's a subset. Anytime you're playing against a subset, you have a better chance.
Yeah. So go after it.
Well, I will tell you this. It hasn't aired yet, but my family and I are gonna be on Family Feud this season.
That's awesome. How was that? Like, even being on Beat Shazam, and now you said you're going to be on Family Feud. That's congratulations.
Thank you.
What's the process like?
Basically, it's kind of like what we're doing right now. They just want to get to know you and how you are, your excitement level, your enthusiasm, and just anything that might be of interest of somebody watching the show. And actually, like, do you love the game? Because at the end of the day, it's a game.
Right.
And, And there's a lot of elements, the audience and the unexpected and the travel. So if you don't love the game itself, then it's going to make a bad show.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So they just want to know, are you authentic? Are you your own person? And are you going to give them a good show?
And I'm sure they did some research on you and Aaron and was like, yeah, we need them.
Well, Shazam was very hard because, remember, there's only 14 episodes a season, only 3 teams per show. So we're talking, there's only 42 teams that even get on the show.
Wow.
The whole, like Family Feud, at least, they do like 200 episodes.
So you have a better chance.
Yeah, much better chance.
Wow. So where does Wheel of Fortune fall within game shows that you love? Because that's my favorite.
I like Wheel of Fortune.
I like it.
Here's the thing. Wheel of Fortune, though, is you could win or lose on Wheel. Like, although Family Feud's similar, but like on Wheel of Fortune, yeah, you can be the best and lose. You can be terrible and win. So like, it does add some excitement in terms of that. I like the Beat Shazam challenge because we were watching at home, and I'm like, 1 out of 14 shows is $1 million winner. And I said, and for the African American contestants, I see their demise each time being the country music. And I would tell my wife, I said, how do you come on that show not knowing country? You know it's coming.
Right. You have, yeah, that's true.
So I did weeks of country. Wow. And I was actually in Nashville when we thought about being on the show. So I was doing straight up country. Yes.
That's crazy. So you said you have 2 daughters.
Yes.
What are their ages?
19 and 15.
Oh, okay, 19 and 15. And then your wife. So did everybody like help you? Did they test you at home? Like,
oh, well, this is what was good. Only my wife knew that we got accepted to be on the show.
What?
I told my daughters that I didn't make the cut, but I did get tickets to sit in the audience.
Because you can't tell anyone.
Well, I could have said something, but it just would have made it easy. It made it easier.
Okay.
So I told them that I was going to keep studying because they had a special contest for people in the audience, and you can win up to $10,000. But those are all lies.
Oh my goodness! What did they say after they found out?
This was the best. So like we found out the show was going to air as the premiere episode. So I actually showed my daughter the clip of the promo, and first time she saw it, like it just kind of glazed past her. Then I said, hey, look at that dude right there. You know, that one with the moves. She's like, oh no, oh Dad, no. I'm like, yes, I'm on the show.
Oh my goodness, I could only imagine.
But only my wife, my mother, and my superintendent knew that I was going on the show because I had to tell him exactly why I needed 3 days off in the middle of winter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, this is just so excited. Now, there was a part where Aaron was just, that's my brother. He was just so super proud of you. Are you guys like super close? You guys get along well?
Here's what, we used to share a room growing up, and there was a lot of tension because we're very different people. Like for example, he's a hip hop guy, rap. He's been doing this since the early 80s. He always knew this was going to be a big deal. In school, I was more of a straightforward learner. He was more of a creative type, kind of like today's learner. He's a professor now, and it makes sense. He was always ahead of what was happening. But we always clashed because I wanted to play my rock. He wanted to play his rap. I wanted to stay up late and study. He's 3 years younger. He's like, I'm 12. I want to go to bed. But we all, after a certain point, we came to an understanding and had a lot of respect for each other. And we've been like that since.
Wow.
And even like when I asked him about going on the show, he told me, he says, I don't know if I know it as well as you. He said, but I'm going to help you be your best and I'm going to help where I can. And he kept putting in my head, he and my wife, you're coming in, you're going to take that whole bag. And my wife is, she's a motivational speaker.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. And she does something called a healing space where actually you come in when you have like the things holding you back in life. And she helps you release those things.
Wow.
So she spoke to me often about like some of the doubts I had. Like when I got the paperwork for the show, I told my wife, I said, I'm signing my life away. I said, look at this. It was like a day's worth of documents. I said, honey, I'm not going on this show. She said, take a breath. You've gone this far. You've involved your brother. Think of why you're doing this. If you don't want to go on, that's fine, but just think it through. And, she talked me down because I was all the way on the ledge, taking everybody with me.
Right. Like, what did I get myself into?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say you guys seem like complete opposites. But when both of you came out acting a fool, I was
Yes.
like, maybe I'm getting this wrong. But
No,
you
in terms of the energy and that stuff, yeah, we're right there together.
okay. Okay. Wow. After you found out about you,
Yeah.
right? Even though you were like, I don't know if it's the eye. What was going through your head at that point when you answered the $1 million question and Jamie Foxx is like, how do you feel? How did you
Here's
feel?
how it felt. Okay. Now about that particular song, I was doing the dishes. I was listening to 90s music that night. And I knew it was the weakness because I was young in the 90s and I wasn't paying close attention to anything. And I heard that song and I said the title and I was cool. Then I looked at the title and had a mini stroke because I had always thought that song was called I Found Out About You.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is the kind of song that's going to make me lose. A song I think I know the title to. So I stopped the water, kept playing the song, and said to myself, found out about you, found out about you, found out about you.
Martin, what are the chances?
Well, here's the thing. I did that for about another few hundred songs. So we went
Oh,
in.
wow.
But I do remember having a particular problem with that song.
Okay,
That's the
because you
big
kept
problem.
saying I found out instead of found out.
Yep. And that's a major, major problem.
So did you like think of dishes when that song came on? Like, did it bring you back into the kitchen?
What was happening was this. I was talking to my brother like during a commercial break, and he was just basically telling me this. He's like, listen, you're getting everything right. So you're just going to go in here, do the next song like you've done all the others. What comes to your mind. You know, he just got me in the mindset of don't second guess yourself. Because when he said on the show, you got this, bro, I was smiling and I really believe that we can get all of this.
Yeah.
That was the moment where I'm like, yeah, you know what? We've gotten a long way.
Oh my gosh.
And I wasn't sure, but I was glad I said what was in my gut. Because the week before, I had practiced every song that I'd been thinking about. And the ones I got wrong, I listened to on the airplane coming over. Now, I guess I must have got that one right because I hadn't listened to it again.
Wow.
But by then, like, I was in manic phase. Like, I had been staying up till 3 at night. And, you know, just trying to hear these songs.
Yeah, so you were like, so were you still able to be an active member in your family? Or like, since your wife only knew, did she allow you that extra time to do what you needed to do to prepare for the show?
You know what it's like? It's just like those movies where someone goes to the basement and then you come down and there's all these strings connected to stuff and there's all these outfits, you know, created. As it got closer, because we filmed in January, after the new year, like those last like 11 days, it was like mania because I still was busy with school. And then around school, I had this notebook and my coworker goes, what's going on with that notebook? I said, I'm doing a family event and I'm in charge of the music. And she walks 2 steps away and she goes, I don't believe you. I don't believe what you're telling me. And I want you to know that.
Oh my gosh.
And I just looked at dead in the face like, what else could I say? Everyone else bought it.
Yeah, it's hard keeping secrets from people because sometimes you're just so excited that you do want to spill the beans, but you have to just hold it in. Now, I need to know, my cousin, we all need to know. You answered like a majority of the questions on the show, right?
Yes.
Was there ever a time where you were like, you know what, bro, I love you and everything, but it's about to be 80-20 split?
No, you know why? You know why? Because a couple things. Like in the beginning with the Shine Bright, he was about to get the answer. I wouldn't let him be right.
Okay.
Also, we talked beforehand, and I told him for that final round, if I don't know, then you go. Because for Cats in the Cradle, he would actually have the audacity to try to answer the question. And I literally grabbed him and was like, yo, stand down. It's about me right now. I appreciate him trying to bring it home, and he knew. But I knew that I knew 100%. I didn't know whether he was high 90s or whatever.
Yeah.
And I'm born first. I had to snatch him back on that. But no, his
confidence. The audacity. Oh my God.
You know, you have kids, you gotta follow the order of things.
Right. Exactly. Right? Oh my goodness. Now, when you win $1 million, does it really end up being that much in the end? Now, I know you had to split it, but do they take a lot from you guys?
Depends how you want it. If you want that money all at once, they hit you for about 200 grand worth off the top.
Wow.
Off the top.
So you can get it all at once, or you can get it annually, or
right. You can get it in payments. You can get it all at once. But if you get it all at once, you get that all at once penalty.
Wow, I never thought of that. Okay, well, if I ever win $1 million, y'all give it to me as give it to me in paper.
Well, that's what's funny though, because an hour and a half ago we were sitting firm at $0, and now they're talking about how you're going to split up this mill.
So wait, do they ask you like right after you win, or?
Yep.
No way.
Yep.
You have to make that.
I still had confetti stuck to my head talking about this money.
Because it's probably nothing to them. They're like, oh yeah, well, how do you want it?
It was, yeah. Although it was only the third time it's happened on that show, so they were kind of hyped too.
Were they excited?
Oh yeah.
Jamie Foxx, was he like? Because I think I heard like, well, I saw he was like super excited for you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what did he say afterwards? Did you see him after the show?
No, because like we were the first episode to film. Like chronologically, we really were the premiere. So like they had to keep it going. He might have had 4 more shows that day.
Wow.
So his energy is incredible.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because he looked so happy, like he was almost at tears.
You know what it is though? Like, and they do this on purpose. They get contestants on that they all have good feelings about. So no matter who wins, they're like, okay, like we like these women, we like these dudes.
Yeah.
That's the vibe of that whole show. They bring in people that everybody's comfortable with, and that's why we can cheer for each other. Because when we were losing, we were glad that the young ladies they were getting theirs off.
Right.
And we're all teachers, so we were all talking about teaching during the break.
And I remember, I think his name was Alejandro.
Yes.
His story.
Right.
Wow. Being able to give back, because he was an ELL student, and that was just touching. I thought that was beautiful. Teachers rock. I work with teachers. I'm a sign language interpreter, and I work at a high school, so I'm just like, teachers are amazing. You guys are awesome. With me.
my wife does the sign ministry at the church. That's interesting. Yes, she does.
I need her information because I need some healing. I need some healing too.
Yeah, she'll provide it.
Yeah, so afterwards, I'm definitely gonna get her information.
She told me before I left. I held hands with her, and she had me close my eyes and just visualize every step of the process, making it to the bonus round, getting to the final question, being the one there, and answering it accurately.
Wow, that's awesome.
At the watch party, everybody was all stunned. I was having palpitations because I forgot we had won. It had been so long, and I'd still been broke, so everything was back to normal. And she like busted out her camera on the sneak, and she was filming like the last 20 minutes because she knew.
Wow.
She knew that we got them all.
Wow. So a watch party, you just have it with your family, or what?
No, we went to a local bar and restaurant. I had my kids there, my coworkers, my mom, some friends, and we had set aside a place locally, and it sounded so crazy, they didn't believe we were coming. So when we stopped by the night of, they were like, oh, we thought you were joking. Who has a Beat Shazam watch party? We're like, we do. I'm on the show.
Right. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we had like 50 people there, and like half the people I work with in my math department. And the first like 30 minutes, they were like, yo, what's up? Why don't y'all know anything? Even I knew that song.
Goodness.
My daughter was hiding her face.
And they still didn't know.
Oh, nobody knew. When I came back, I didn't tell anybody what happened.
You couldn't.
I couldn't. And my wife asked me when I came back, because I've been up for 28 straight hours. And I came in the morning, and she said, how'd it go? I said, honey, I can't answer, and please don't ask again.
Wow, that's serious. And as a wife, you have to be like, you have to respect that.
Well, because she did.
I'm sure, because you sign documents and
but
then
it's funny though, because like when you tell yourself something, you start believing it. Because by about April, it was so distant, and you know what it was too? It was so surreal that your mind almost won't let you believe it.
Wow.
There was no evidence. The show hadn't aired. The money wasn't there. And I just did a cross-country flight. I barely slept both nights, so I was already in a manic state. And even flying back, it felt like a dream, a living dream.
Wow, like you were there, it happened, and now I'm back.
Right, we were high-fiving everybody in the audience on the way out. It was insane. And then it went back to my everyday life where I was just teaching class.
So I was going to ask, what did your wife, what did your girls, what did you splurge on, if anything?
Well, for one, my older daughter is in college now. And
Okay.
it's very easy to spend when your kids are in school.
Oh, absolutely. I know. Ugh.
Yes. But it's been a big relief because, college debt can be crippling.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why I went on the show, actually, because I
I remember you said that.
yeah, bang for your buck. I'm like, Jeopardy, you have to be really brilliant, and you can still go on there and come in second.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's some nights you got, well, almost every night, there's 3 geniuses up there.
Right.
Whereas on Beat Shazam, it's like people are there for different reasons, and that show's different. And like some people would perform like I did the first half, where you just get caught up in tense. They may not have someone like my brother there to bring you back, because in all honesty, I was already gone, and he just kept whispering in my ear. He goes, we can still get this back. We're still in this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And look at the outcome. Like, what if he was just so discouraging and was like, you know
No.
what? This is it.
Yeah, over.
Wow. So you needed that. So all right, Aaron, you deserve your 50% split.
Yeah.
You deserve it.
Because as you can see too, once it started rolling and the energy between us really started heating up, like we were always solid, even when we were getting defeated. We were just covering up.
Ah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we were taking the beating, but we didn't take the full force of it. But once we started elevating, it was over.
There was like no turning back. Like I rewatched it last night and I was just in here like, yes, like, wow.
Once they said Shania Twain, because like I'm a big fan of hers.
You trying to play them. You was like, I've heard of her.
And I have. That's a true statement. I've heard of her and I bought those CDs and listened and re-listened. I mean, listen, her story is great too, what she did for her family and her siblings. But just listen, at the turn of the millennium, she was hot stuff.
Yeah.
She had all the hits. And I knew those young ladies, they were young. So they were like 7. So they may be fans, but they weren't fans like we were.
Yeah. You're still the one. That was right. I remember this now because that was my wedding song. And I'm sitting watching it with my family, with my cousins, and I'm like, oh, I know that song. Why, Martin? I did not even know the name.
That's what it is. See what I'm saying? See, the song means so much to you, and right. Yes.
And it took me a minute to get to the chorus, and I was like, wow. All right. Now, when I have these conversations, I always try to do some research to kind of find out a little bit more about my guest. And when I was watching the replay yesterday on YouTube, I was just going through the comments and, people are like, this was like the best episode for them, whatever. But then there was one comment that really was amazing to me. And it said, Martin is my math teacher. That man is a god.
That's one of my students last year.
Martin, that's a huge statement. That means so much. That must mean that you impact your students in a major way.
I try to run my class kind of the way Jamie runs his show, where I allow the students to be the stars and I allow them and invite them to be themselves to make the class better.
That's amazing. I can only imagine. I had a conversation with a coworker of mine. He's an English teacher, and his students say amazing things about him as well. And it's like, there are such amazing teachers out there just doing amazing work, having impacts on the students, and it stays with them forever.
Yes.
It stays with them forever. And I know that makes you like so super proud.
It makes it easier to teach because they even say, look at Mr. Smith. He's ridiculous and he won $1 million. So we can pass this class.
Now you said, before we even got started, you said you moved.
Yes.
So how was it leaving your prior school and how long were you there?
I've been there for 3 years. I really enjoyed it there. I liked the kids. I love the bosses. That's not popular to say, but I got along with all of them.
Wow.
And I love my coworkers, but it's just that the commute was too far from Georgia, My brother-in-law lives down here. The schools are amazing in Gwinnett County, where we live. We got a great deal on a house. And my wife is retired, and I have fixed income too with the show money. So financially, our money's much more powerful, like here, than it was in Jersey.
Nice. So you're not teaching now then?
I'm still teaching.
Oh, you're still teaching?
Yeah, I'm teaching in middle school. And you know what? The kids don't know I was on the show. They don't know I won.
How long have you been at that school?
I've been there since August.
Are you going to tell them? Or are you going to wait for someone to come in and be like, Mr. Smith?
Well, here's what's funny. I used the Beat Shazam picture on my class page, and one of the kids said, "You look like you were on a game show." I said, "Yeah, it does look like that." She goes, "Were you?" I'm like, "Maybe." And she goes, "Were you?" I said, "Hey, I'm here now."
Go do your research.
Yeah. But like the Family Feud episode, I guess, the Family Feud experience is going to air sometime this calendar year, I think. And like they might pick up on, listen, I wanted them to know me as their teacher first.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
So it's been cool that way. But I do drop some hints. I tell them, I said, sometimes like I had a long-term project, and I said studying is what got me to my goal.
Wow. That's so amazing how you can relate being on a game show to encouraging your students to stay focused and, just stick towards whatever goal or dream.
Yes.
And that's amazing. Like if you ever reveal to them, this is what I was studying for, and this was my result. So you can do the same thing.
Exactly.
Wow. And is that pretty much why you got into teaching, like to, have that? Did you know you were going to be so impactful as a teacher?
I knew I would do better. Like I wasn't treated terribly well as a student half the time. And I had some amazing teachers too, but I had some teachers who I would ask them, "Why are you like this? Why do you treat us so badly?" And they'd say, "Hey, you shut up. Nobody asked you." Or, "Hey, grab your stuff and get on out of here."
Wow. Wait,
Just
you grew up in Philly?
I grew up in North Jersey.
North Jersey. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Wow. And you actually asked your teacher, "Why do you treat us like this?"
Yes. We had a few that were just sadistic. And I'm like, "Why do you grab someone's paper and rip it in front of their face?
Oh my God.
Why do you dump someone's desk on the floor because you thought their desk was disorganized? Why do you read the test scores when they're terrible by name?" Just many practices. And I told myself, if I was ever in charge of this class, these things won't happen.
Wow.
At the very least, the kids can come in a room and not feel like they're under attack.
That's awesome. Woo. All right. Well, this was an amazing conversation. And I just had something else that I did want to ask you. And it kind of slipped my mind. I'm so mad right now. But before we wrap up, I have a little Beat Shazam, random nobody style, of my own. So are you willing to play?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Always.
Right. I got 2 songs. How are you with reggae and dancehall, Martin?
We're going to find out.
This is so exciting. Oh my goodness. Okay, wait. If I can just get it right. I think I have it at the right time. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready. No.
You don't know that?
I don't.
Oh my goodness. Have you ever heard of Coffee?
No.
Really? Get
I'm
up
not
on some reggae. This is Toast. She won a Grammy for it.
Did she?
Yes. All right. Maybe you'll get this one.
Is this Champagne Supernova? All right, 1 for 2.
That's one of my favorite songs. Oasis, I love them. Okay, so yeah, I only had 2 songs. I was gonna only do the Coffee one, and I was like, you know what? He might not be up on reggae like that. So let me be kind.
Well, no, I got a chance to learn something.
Yes. And she's an amazing artist. You should check her out. Coffee.
So her name's Coffee and the song is Toast?
Yes, Coffee with a K.
Okay.
Oh, like random nobody with a K.
All right.
Martin, thank you so much for coming to have this conversation with me, a random nobody. I had so much fun.
Yeah, so did I. It was good.
Oh my goodness. All right, I know Martin needs to brush up on his reggae and dancehall music skills, but it's all good, guys. It's all good. I thoroughly enjoyed that conversation with Martin. And like I said earlier, I did speak with his wife, and I'm going to include her conversation with me in a couple weeks. See, I told you guys I'm still going to be putting some stuff out there because I'm kicking new flavor in your ear. Yo, could I be on Beat Shazam or should I just be a rapper? I don't know, guys, but either way, look out for that bonus episode with Renee and I, and other mini episodes as well. Sort of like a bonus. All right, you know, you didn't get that Christmas bonus last year. Don't worry about it. You're getting a random nobody bonus. See how that works out? All right, guys. Until next time, when will next time be, guys? Like officially? Well, if you want to know, make sure you are subscribed to the podcast. Not only to the podcast, right? But go to my website and submit your email address so that when it's time to relaunch and I have a date set, I am going to send an email out so everybody knows to get their listening ears ready. All right? So for real this time. So make sure you are already subscribed to the podcast. If you have not already left me a review, and I think I have about 17, 18 reviews so far on Apple Podcasts, I'd love to see that number go up. And I know I have more than 17, 18 listeners. So please, if you are an iPhone user, please leave me a rating on Apple Podcasts, preferably 5 stars, and write me a review. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. All right, guys. Until next time. Walk good. Translation, be safe. Seriously, be safe.
Started from the bottom, look where we end up, on top like Pac, all eyes on us. Blessings. Count my blessings. No more worries, no more stressing. No more stressing. With every loss there comes a lesson. Lord, all I'm asking is protection. Count my blessings. I wake up and count my blessings.